This is More Than Dice, the podcast where we dive deep into the realms of everything nerdy. Whether you're a nerd culture connoisseur, a tabletop titan, a miniature gaming marveler, or just someone who proudly embraces their inner geek, this is the podcast for you. And now, let's get to the show.
Hey, whoa. Something's wrong with our screen. We're like really tiny.
Damn it, Gonzo. That's two.
That's two. Who else said damn it, Gonzo?
Two from me, because damn it, Gonzo.
Can't see chat right now. So,
Go faster.
Go faster? Who said go faster?
I said go faster.
Go
I said,
faster?
damn it, Gonzo, go faster.
So, gonna just clear this out just a little bit. I'm kind of tweaking this a little bit because we're gonna be really tiny in the corner, so we can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Let me fix that.
We got a Shadow Sword. We got a Nessie. Who else we got?
Woo-hoo.
Anybody?
We got giant chickens.
Well, we always got giant chickens, especially when you're around.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna flip this out. I want to watch chat while we're doing this. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, honey, I checked the stream. As you know, if you haven't followed us and you haven't seen our Facebook page, we are in a partnership with Eldritch Foundry. And one of the things I suggested that we do is build characters on screen with them. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up and get them to print. So the concept is we will use this app and create a character with your input. And the input must be to follow these certain guidelines. One, it must be a female. Two, we're making an assassin tonight. And the reason why we're making an assassin is I am starting up a new Daggerheart campaign with all my friends this weekend, and I need very powerful NPCs to screw with them. I already got the biggest, baddest, BBBG, but I need some harassers. And so I wanted to make an assassin.
Right. I have pinned that for reference, because...
Pinned it for reference?
Pinned for reference, because...
Yeah, we
Squirrel.
need a female ass in. So the first thing we're going to do is we got to choose a female body type.
I never said I could spell.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's how it is. It's ass in. But want to go over just the basics of the ability to make this. You can name your characters, you can save them, reset them, you can share them, so on and so forth, create an account, and you can get different, ways to do this. You can get a higher detail resin for $25, double size that to make it an extra large for $55, but we do have an account with them. You can get digital download, and if you're doing one model at a time, it's $5. But if you're doing multiples or you buy a monthly subscription, which I highly recommend, let us know, because we can help you out with that. Also, if you're buying physical ones, yeah, we got links. We haven't posted them yet. We're going to hold off on that. But if you want physicals, we can actually give you a discount on that too. So the first thing, one of the things you can do is automatically, you can go over to quick start and you're like, I just need something super fast. Let's see. Melee fighters, look over to the right. Let's see. Is there an assassin type on here?
I thought I saw one on there when I looked, but I could be wrong.
I thought so too.
I've slipped since then.
Yeah. But these are just quick. I'm gonna see if there was one. There isn't one, but here's Thor. If you wanted to make Thor right off the bat, boom, there's Thor.
Yeah.
Just quick and easy. Half-orc barbarian. There we go. You can just make
Arr.
it. You know, maybe it's under skirmishers.
Maybe.
Yeah, halfling rogue. Here's a halfling rogue. Sorry, I am drinking a little bit of coffee tonight because I did. And actually, I used this one model for a NPC that's going to be in the game this Sunday.
Saturday?
He's not. You don't know what he's going to be but he is this type of thing. But if you want to just have quick, easy, go-to things, here's a succubus. Etc., etc. And you can tweak these things also while they're here. So
I like her. She's nice.
You got plenty of different things. Cyberpunk, I thought it was really neat. This is really cool. Cyberpunk biker.
That's a whole ass tire.
Yeah, it is.
That's really cool.
Sci-fi stuff. Space sniper. Boom. Looks like a Mandalorian with a gun, with a rifle. So, I mean, you can make pretty much anything. Then there's general. Oh, like, I want a girl with a Frenchie. Look, here's a girl with a French poodle. Or a French dog. French bulldog.
It's a French bulldog, Gonzo. Get your flat faces right.
They're all up. But we're going to reset everything and start over. And we are going to start completely from scratch and make a female assassin. So you can choose female or male up here, doesn't matter, or you can just look to the right. So I need to know what type of, I've got an elf, alien, dragon spawn, half ogre, dwarf, furbolg, keb, which is like a hippo. We're not doing a hippo, by the way. Goblin, orc, half elf, half orc, halfling, kobold, Liani, which is kind of like a cat person, minotaur, naga, deep dweller, quit, which is like another cat, satyr, human, demonborn, or undead, Goliath, or wargast. And wargast is like a robot. So I need to know what we're going to be building. So we need to think of it as a female assassin. So I need ideas. Nessie's got half elf. He gets it already. All right. So
see, my brain automatically went to goblin with fat ass.
of course, because that's all you think about is fat asses.
I like a nice ass. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Right. So female half elf, and we can do this. And the one thing I like about the world that we're working on is the world that we're in. We can add different body parts and whatever, and there is not really just a half race, but there is a way to do half elves in the game. So we've got the lineage, her ancestry. We can change up, like if we want to make it like a body of elemental or air or merfolk or naga, we can do that, but we're not gonna do that. They have the option to do amputees. So if you wanted to do, like, instead of having holding something, you can have them grafted it on. You can do hooks, stumps, monofilament sword, you name it.
Do we have a nice little dagger that we could use on here?
This is just if you wanted to do amputee stuff. We don't have to do this. This is just an example. So if we wanted to do, like they actually lost an arm. And if we don't like it, we can always just delete it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to do this. Things that we can do. The upper body controls our height. What I really like is they give you a ruler and they tell you how tall the person is if you were to print this out as a 1-inch base. So, so on and so forth. We can go. Assassin, do we want it tiny, tiny half elf or medium half elf? If she is an assassin, she's got to be sneaky. I don't want this to be a snoo-snoo. I'm sorry, Nesser.
No snoo-snoo for you.
So, and this is only, the ruler is only just a rule of thumb. So it's not permanent. So why don't we go a little bit on the shorter side? Now we can also change like neck height, so we can make them giraffe necks or no necks. And if you don't like anything, you can always reset it back to normal.
How about a medium neck?
That's about what I got. That's about the right thing.
Yeah.
We can also do head size, make them really big and really tiny. A lot of this stuff I don't mess with unless it's like arms and hands and like chest. Like if I want to give her bigger boobs.
I still think you should give her a fat ass.
We can give her a fat ass. Arms, we can make her bulkier or thinner. Shorten her arms or lengthen her arms. I think just normal. Hands, we can change how long the forearms are. No big deal. So, I mean, just basic generic type stuff. Make the head a little bit smaller just because she has a smaller frame. Lower body. This is where you can get a pot belly, no belly. Thick waist, thin waist. I think just about average. And we can always change these after we've finished. Now, here's where Mizzy wanted. Mizzy wanted a thick, cheeky butt. Well, you got a thick, cheeky butt. We can't see it right now because we got a cloth in the way, but you'll see it. Legs also, we can change like their mass. Make them like they're thick or thin. Tails. We can add different types of tails. Now, there's a mouse tail, devil tail, leonine tail, cat tail, draconic, demonic, reptilian, a hawk tail, a satyr tail, an alligator tail.
I think we should make her half satyr.
Make her half satyr?
Make her half satyr.
Well, there's an easier way to do that. Watch this. Go back to Ancestry and choose female satyr. That way we don't have to worry about making the bottom part. Because here's the thing. If we make her a satyr, we can't give her shoes and boots.
Oh, that's right.
So we have to go with half-elf. But we
All
can,
right.
What we can do is, let's make her a little bit shorter. What we can do is we can give her horns, because in this world we can. So the different horns we got long and small, but we can just give her different types. And they got the standard bull, ram, devilish. The actual satyr horns, which I really like because they're curly. Draconic horns, which are not bad. I like those.
Mm-hmm.
You got the devil longhorns, devil shorthorns, other devil horns, more demonic horns, crown of horns, bigger crown of horns, bigger crown of horns. We got moose antlers, curved horns,
Moose antlers.
avatar double horns, avatar's horns, angelic halo, which I don't like at all, stag horns, short devil horns, devilish horns, upturned horns, Nathan horns. I personally like these. We can always change the hair, and we can always change everything. Nothing is finite until we print it. So what do you say?
My vote is either those or the satyr horns. How about you, Nessie? What do you think?
Those horns or these horns? Oh, you like the devil horns? The curved
Option
horns.
1, the devil ones.
Yeah, the curved horns.
Yeah.
All right. Hair. We have a plethora of hair. Even Medusa's hair if we wanted to. We're not going to do Medusa's hair. We have a mohawk. We have slick back. Long puffy braids, which I always like. That's actually a really good style with the horns.
Mm-hmm.
A man bun. A shoulder length hair, which is just, average. Viking, which is a hair with a back ponytail. Shoulder length hair. Blowout. Small afro. Large afro. Long hair with a braid, which I think is always a really good popular one. Long with a bun. Cornrows. Flowing locks. The Elvis cut. Straight fade cut. Twisted mohawk. Which I like. I like the curls in that. That's really nice. The full curl is kind of neat too. I just don't think you cover up a lot of the horns.
Yeah, that doesn't really fit this one.
Yeah. There's the lion's mane. Rawr. Long flowing hair. Or long flaming hair. Which I like. I think it's really cool. Yeah, it's not bad either. Got just simple braided. I like this one, the Peggy. Not for this model, but definitely it's a cool hairstyle. You got the noble braid, which is just a thick braid with, twists and jewels in it. You got the scrunchies, which is double braid or double palm. A long braid, which gives you a little gem in the back. Slick back hair. Flame hair. Messy top. Top knot. Dreadlocks. The bob. Pushed back. Pompadour. It's really not much there. The side sweep, which is not a bad hairstyle. Kind of looks like a good old Lynn Stahl haircut right now, almost.
Yeah, it does.
Magnificent locks. Medium layers. Which is actually not bad. Samurai top knot. So we need to think. Do we go with long hair or short hair? That's the question I need you to answer. Long or short? Hey, what happened to our cameras?
I don't know. Did you break the stream?
There it goes. It got minimized when I moved the screen over. So.
Nessie is feeling the short front sweep.
I got this weird flame one. The front. This one? The Lynn Stahl is what we're going to call it. The Lynn cut.
Yes.
The Lynn cut. All right, so since we already got a name, her name is going to be Lynn.
Oh, Lord, I'm going to get killed by Lynn.
Now, if you notice, when you put the name in, it has an asterisk here, because you can save it under multiple names when you do slight changes. All right, so now, eyebrows. We can change the different eyebrows. We've got fluffy ones, long ones, bushy ones, a unibrow, and just normal eyebrows. What do we think? I like the bushy ones.
Hang on, can you zoom in just a little bit for me?
Mm-hmm. As close as I can get right there.
Okay. Go to the top one.
I think these are just
Yeah,
too
like,
big.
yeah.
So bushy or full? This is bushy. This is full.
I say let's do full.
Okay. Eyes. Now, this one is more of a personal preference for me. I don't like the eyes here. For when you look it to the side, the eye is flat. And the iris and all this is just kind of, it's not bad. It's just not my preference for painting the models. I like the blackout. We don't need to do robots or metal orbs, but just a blackout. That way I could paint them and not have to worry about them.
Paint them how you want.
Yeah. All right. So we have ears. We are going to go for a half elf, so we should have pointed ears.
Yes.
And so we can do pointed pierced ears, which I don't have a problem with.
We can all. So something that we can do as well is leave one ear unpierced.
Correct. We can undo the linking and only do one pierced on this side, and then just do a normal. Let's see. Where's the elf ears? And a normal elf ear. So we do 2 pierced ears or 1 pierced ear?
I mean, if we're gonna name it Lynn, I think we should do one pierced ear.
I was kind of curious how big the goblin ear was. All right. So right ear pierced.
Nessie? Yes. Perfect.
All right. So we have that. And we can't do any facial piercing. I know that some places have where you can do like a nose or ring or eye and all that stuff. They don't have that, which I'm okay with. Not a big deal. We don't need to do a beard. This is a half elf.
That's what green stuff is for.
Yeah. So now we have facial controls. Now we can automatically just crank it up and make it a very happy, kind of creepy happy. Give it a little bit of smile. Or we could go completely angry, pissed off. And I think if you go completely, it's just like too comical in my opinion. But like a little bit, because you can actually go a little bit angry and a little bit happy. And so it gets that little smirky like look to it. So you can kind
I
of...
was wondering how you could do that, because whenever I was playing around with it, I was like, I need a smirk.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of smirk. And when we get...
face.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, you can, that's like the resting bitch face. But you can give a little bit of happy expression on it to be like, yeah, I know you're doing stuff. Hey, Shadow Sword, welcome back, buddy. And we can also raise and lower eyebrows. So, you know, if we wanted to, we could make an eyebrow raised or lowered. We can raise and lower both of them, but since we have that sweep in there, we won't be able to see the other one. We can twist the eyebrows so you can give them up a little like devilish.
So, Shadow Sword, we are currently on track to make a half satyr, half elf.
So, and you could turn it worried look or just a little bit mean. And the interesting part about this that I like is, even though facial controls, you can do the expression to make them mean or happy, you can tweak the eyebrows and the eyes, and it really changes the appearance of the model. And you can also, you know, make your eyebrows really bushy, like a Klingon, or really, really tiny.
Oh no, that's too bushy.
What about the super tiny? Well, we haven't done clothes just yet. We're only getting the basics. So I like just, a little bit of eyebrow.
Yeah.
All right. You already got the eyes. We could change the dimension of the eyes, the size of them, make them super tiny, really, really big. I find that this stuff right here is just, when you're trying to make something kind of weird, space them out, put them in. I usually leave these pretty much alone.
Yeah.
You can raise them, lower them, blah, blah, blah. And usually, I'm not really big into all that stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. Now, you can rotate the ears a little bit. Like, I would like to take this left ear and rotate it up. So, take the left ear and rotate it up a little bit to go with the other ear. Because, see, we'll click them, and we can rotate them up a little bit higher. Now, we can scale them and make them big, but, kind of just want to leave them a little bit natural looking. Mm-hmm.
Have some balance, have some proportion.
And we can make them droop or not droop. Nose, you can change the bridge, size, everything. So like a little bit smaller nose. You can change the width and length and all that stuff. So, look at squish nose. Look, it's a pug.
It's not a pug.
And you can change, and usually I leave this a little bit the same too. I don't really mess with it. Cheekbones, we can change the height of them. Make a more angular face. We can change the cheekbone size. Let's link it so we can see. But, make her a little bit more resting bitch face with a little bit of smirk. We can change the jaw. We can open it, which I think is really creepy. Ah. We can twist the jaw.
Oh my God, look.
Yeah. And then we can rotate the jaw. You can give it a little bit of lip movement. Most of the time, I just leave a lot of this stuff the same. I've built probably 12 type of models on this, and it's pretty much all the same.
4 of them are sitting in front of me.
Yeah. And then comes the really, 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 really fun part. Clothings. Now, you can get quick and dirty and go take one of the generics, assassin cloak. And it's just plain ordinary whatever. You can go quick pirate, wizard, plague doctor, Wild West, scholar. So they've got things if you just need. Oh, I need a quick samurai. Need a berserker. Oh. I need someone in football gear. Boom. Elven monk. Boom. What's that one? Someone in plate. Blacksmith. Marauder. A soul monk. Demonic clothes. I don't know why I stopped. A cleric. Or I just need someone in a quick dress. Or a suit and tie. But you can change it anything. So you can technically, so we've got the helmet. So let's just say she has a hood. I personally don't like a lot of helmets on my characters because I want to see the facial features. I want to have, that way I can paint them up. But you can do simple things like give them a kitsune mask. Give them the aspect of fire. which I think is a really, really cool looking look.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Dusk. Aspect of Earth. So you can kind of make elementals out of this because there's other body parts, so you can do some stuff. Make them a deer head.
Do we have an option for a lowered hood?
We do have that, but it is not under hood. It's not under the headpiece. What we can do is, I was kind of looking at some of that. I'm like, here's an aspect of air. Here's a wolf head. Wide brim. I wanted to give a few things that y'all can see. I like this sort of mask. Unlike, it'd be like really cool for like an orc shaman.
Yeah.
And then of course Mizzy's favorite.
Top hat.
There's hooded with a dark helm. A skull mask. A cowl. Pirate's hat with a bandana. And then they got, different demon masks. Kind of a Yakuza look.
Yeah.
Just basic helms. Gestures. Make yourself a jack-o'-lantern. Good old dwarven helmet. But the interesting part is when you've got this, so say you've got this hood, you can technically turn off your ears, your horns, squash your hair, get rid of your eyebrows. So, like your hair is squished in this. You can squash your hair, you can squash your ears, like turn off ears so your ears don't show. Or turn off horns. If your horns, you don't want your horns to show. But we do for what this is. So this is only my personal preference. There is something of a lowered hood. So let me take off this and go to neck. And you can take these things that are here and you can do like a sketch shaw that kind of looks like a lowered hood, in my opinion. You can see the back, it kind of looks like a lowered hood.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
To me, that looks like a lowered hood. And then you can get, beads around the necklace, shaw, bolts on the neck, an actual hoodie. But I personally think this shawl looks like a lowered hoodie wrap.
Yeah, that's definitely more assassin feel.
Yeah. Coffee. All right. I usually skip shoulders because I want to see what the torso. This is one of my hardest things that I have to do. Because there is so many. I'm just going to scroll. There's just so many things to choose from.
That's a lot of stuff.
There is. There's jackets. And if you want to go, okay, I want a long sleeve. Now you could do just long coats, and you can give them coats, trench coats of different types. And this one's kind of cool because I like the rolled sleeve with the vest. Although the hood doesn't work with it now, but something you can do. You have the pugilist coat, which gives you a bare stomach. Then you got an overcoat that doesn't. But if you want straight armor, you can have all these different types of armor to go with it. The armored leathered vest chest piece, which gives sleeves, is pretty good. But we got to just figure out. Are they going to be a chain welder? Are they going to have, like the armored bra is kind of neat. Not what I'd go for, but I thought it was kind of neat. There's another armored bra. Full chest piece.
So I'm thinking with assassin, you're going to want to be quiet. So you're not going to really want metal necessarily.
No. And so what we're going to do is I want to look at long sleeves. Now, there'll be some metal in here, but it'll have long sleeve stuff that we can deal with. The vest and tie. Shirt with suspenders, a suit, 3-piece suit, Dark Disciple plate. I don't like that really that much. There's the armored leather one that we were talking about. And we also can change this a bit too. So, got a leather jacket, shirt, fighter's tunic, cyber jacket, full Gambinson. So you've got, you know, War Priest overcoat, aviators, just a basic tunic, an actual hoodie that has an actual hood, because we can turn off the neck piece and you can see it. But we got the Street Wizard, which is kind of neat. But I think if we really want to go all sweet, we have an armored leather chest piece. Gives a little definition. Got that. And then I like to do hands. We're going to go full gauntlets, bracers, or gloves. If we do just gloves is just that. Which to me, it's all right.
Shadow Sword says bracers.
Just bracers? Okay, let's look at bracers. We got different types. And pretty much they're just going to fit right around the wrist area. Because after this, we'll do some big old bow bracers. Force guards are a little bit metaled. Not bad. Bone bracers.
I do believe that we can do a different one on each arm.
Yes, we
can.
We
just have to unlink it.
Yep, you just click the unlink in the center. So I'm going to unlink it, and then there's 2 different bracers. 2 different bone bracers. Here, we'll do simple bracer, and then a bone bracer. I was just doing both at the same time so we could see. So there's Bardic. Mage bracers. Tundra. Arm cast, I think it's interesting. War Priest, it just wraps. I'd like to give a little bit of definition up on the forearm because it would be really cool to paint that. Because once we're done making this, we will paint this model up probably this Sunday. I like these gloves because they're just kind of cool. Because they do a wrap around the front hand, but they've got this little, you know, cool gem look to them.
Ooh, yeah.
Druid, Oathbreakers, half gloves, monk bracers, which are just good, solid bracers in my opinion. Musician bracers, because they got strings. Full arm wraps, which aren't bad. Sorcerer braces, which is a little bit bigger. These are actually another one that I like because it's a full bracer. Valkyrie bracers. Wooden knuckle wraps. Wrist wraps. Persian. Owl plate. Just normal plate. Gloves. And then wraps. And armored leather gloves. So, do we want to do same or different? All right, so a heavy one. Got it. Heavy on the...
Yep.
All right, so let's go unlink. And then a scholar one. Scholar on this hand Do we want to go that heavy or that heavy? Or do we want to do a different type of bracer? Because you did say the scholar directly, so the scholar's on the right. Did you do ragtag?
Mm-hmm.
This is a cool little bracer. You have to tell me which one looked good. We got a little bit of delay. The monk bracer? Or a different bracer on the left hand? Nobody says anything. I'm going to go ahead and move on.
I like it. I think it looks good.
All right. Next, pants.
Pants are important.
Let's go, before we go to pants, let's go to shoulder options since we've picked something. And sometimes the shoulders are not going to work because we did the hoodie. But if we want, we can always take the hoodie off. And then I can always just put it straight back on. But the shoulder pieces, you can get different types. Spiky ones. And yeah, some of it are going to mess with the shawl. But we just have to work with it and tweak it. I like this one because it actually covers up the shawl a little bit. Or this one, it kind of sits underneath with a little bit of pokage.
That's not terrible.
No. And some of them won't show period. This one sits really nice because it just sits underneath the shawl because it's really close to the body. Mm-hmm. But it gives it more definition also. These I think are really cool, but not appropriate for what we're going for. Guardian's a little big. You can do like flaming ones and earth, dwarf. I got rather leather pauldrons, but I don't like the little cross on the chest.
Yeah.
Doomguard. I mean, we want to keep it kind of assassin-y. But just going to give y'all a little bit of different looks and feels. These reckless pauldrons I like too because they have a little bit of style and they fit underneath the shawl.
Yeah.
And I think something that fits like underneath the shawl works well. I mean, these are kind of cool, the Death Knight ones, but I don't think it kind of really fits. That's what.
Yeah, not for this one. I like one of the first ones that you showed, that fits underneath the shawl.
That one, I think. Yeah. There's that one. Or I think it was that one.
Let's do the one that has the moon on it.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going with the moon one. 5, 4, 3, 2, One.
Nessie agrees.
All right. All right, so now we can go to pants. This, of course, is going to be a challenge. One thing I've learned about pants is there's a plethora of them to go with. And if you really want to get crazy, you can get the wizard frilled pants. Not what we're going for. You can just do straight fishnets too. Or you can do fishnets with a frilly skirt. Or just a frilly skirt. But the one thing that you have to realize is when you do your bottom half, sometimes when you do your pose, it doesn't look as good, so you may have to go back and change it. So I think we should do pants and not skirts or underwear, because you can just do straight underwear. But not short pants, because you'll get these greaves. And then, of course, skirts will be really, really long.
Yeah. Let's do some functional pants.
All right.
With pockets.
With pockets. With straight leather pants.
Because bitches love pockets, and I'm bitches.
Got like biker pants, kind of to sci-fi. Plain old bouncer pants. You got like armored greaves, which doesn't really fit, but they're still considered pants. They're just rough leather pants. There's barred leggings. You got officer pants, which actually is a skirt. Short skirt. Supple leather pants. Toughened leather. I love the little rubber ducky on the front.
Hold on, go back to the supple one real quick.
Yeah, they're just straight, like leather jeans.
It do show off that ass.
Problem is we got to get a better ass. So we go
Yeah.
there. We go lower body. Our booty. We
It
need to
needs
put
help.
some junk in the trunk. But all right, the clothing. Back to pants again. The
Yes.
lower pants aren't bad because we can get boots to cover up, some of the biker. Okay, let's go down here. We got toughened leather, which showed tasseled, so it's got like a little things on the side and stitching. Let's go long pants again. Jeans. We got work pants, which actually have got a little bit of kneecap. Armored leather pants, which have got a little bit of style to them, which I like. There's rather leather leggings. Kind of looks like chaps in a way. My personal preference is the armored leather pants. So it'll be good style, good look. Yeah, so when we go to boots, so we'll go to footwear, and we can get sandals, shoes, boots, greaves, and elemental, which I think is kind of neat. We don't want to do this, but if you wanted to make it, you could have someone that has flaming feet.
All right, Gonzo, I gotta ask you, because my hatred for shoes. Is flip-flops an option?
We got hoplite sandals, shoes. Is there a flip-flop for shoes in here? I do not see it. There's greaves, boots. Nope. No actual flip-flops.
All right, give her some boots.
Yeah, no. Now you can do just basic shoes. If you were going for that route, and you can get like some, here's like some boxing shoes.
Can you go barefoot? That
Yes,
is
you
that is a
can.
valid option.
Yeah, you can. You can take it off and just be straight barefoot. Which, if I were going to make a monk class, I would definitely do like a barefoot monk.
Oh, 100%.
But
You'd have to.
you can also do greaves, which lets you have a little bit of plating with no feet. So you could do simple things like this, or like feet wraps, which I think is really good for like a monk style.
Oh, yeah.
So there's plenty of options there. But boots. All right, so we've got fighter boots, which gives you little buckles and some knee pads. Cleric boots was kind of armored. Yeah, metal shoes. But we need some knee-high boots. I'm going to tell you right now, I personally like fighter boots. And yes, you can choose whether you want the same shoe or a different shoe on each foot. You got these little stompers, which kind of doesn't really fit us. You got Bardic boots, kind of plain. Wrapped. Feet wraps. Biker boots. Scholar boots. Monk boots. Which the monk boots kind of go with our monk bracer. So we got monk boots and fighter boots, I think, are our best. Samurai boots just really don't fit.
We could go more we could add on to the ragtag feel and do one of each.
So wait, is there a scholar? So here we go. Take this off. Scholar on this side, and then where's monk boot on this side? Or do we need to do one of each? Or do two?
I'm not sold on it. Let's do two.
Yeah. My personal preference is either fighter boots because it gives you a little bit of padding and these little buckles, or monk boots or monk boots. I personally like the fighter.
Let's leave it up to chat. What say you? Fighter boots to store a dagger.
All right. And it kind of fits. The bracers are a cool thing. All right. Next thing, capes. Now, you could do a scarf, which will override the other scarf. But I kind of like that little scarf there. You got a reckless scarf, or reckless cape. And a lot of these are not going to look good because we've got a wrap. But if we want, we can take off the wrap and have it.
Thank you, Shadow Sword. In the words of Edna Mode, no capes.
No capes. But there are some really cool capes. I got an ornate one. Cape with different types. And like the mage cape isn't bad either because it's not too big. Scholar cape, which is, a big hooded cape. Desert poncho, which I like because it's actually, just off the shoulders type thing. And you could still probably do the neck wrap. And that still kind of fits. But no, we don't have to. The noble cloak is actually, it's got some good texture to it.
Yeah, I definitely like the options for capes, but not for our girl over here.
All right. You can do capes. Eyewear, which I really don't care. It's not really going to fit our character, but you could do like eye patches. Blackout eye, goggles, monocles, aviator goggles, blindfolds, half moon glasses, different glasses of each type. So,
make her a rock star.
Here is our basic. I'm going to skip our handheld weapons because there's something called back items. And the back items can range from just like musical instruments, containers like backpacks, swords, sheath swords, sword sheaths, barrels, quivers. We have different miscellaneous stuff, so we could do, a priest backpack. But being as this is a assassin, we probably want to go for like weapons. Although there is some cool ones like this orc standard and like a steam claw or a backpack or just musical instrument. I like this one's a rolling pin.
Wonderful.
So there's just a bunch of different ones.
That rolling pin gives me an idea.
And you can do like, oh, I want to have them have a bow on their back. Well, yeah, you can put a bow on their back. Or a sheath sword. Or mecha tentacles. Or an elvish quiver. Or just a normal bow. Or different bows. But something you got to think of.
That's the $1 million question. Is what kind of weapon do we want her to have?
Yeah, I also like this dual axes, but that's just me.
That is pretty badass, yeah.
And then there's different shields that you could do if you were going to do someone with a shield.
Ooh.
But no shield. We're an assassin. So, handheld weapons. We have a plethora of stuff to choose from. You have axes, ranged, flexible, which Mizzy will like because there's an actual whip.
Whip it real good.
And some of the stuff you do have to have an account to have to get bonuses. I think there's a crown, which means you have to have it. So we can change some of these up a little bit. There's a flaming whip too.
I might have looked at that already.
Oh, I'm sure you did. We can change the position. Once we've figured out what we're going to use, we can change the position and lookout. And then you can just do, a small whip in the hand. Being that this is an assassin, I think we should think about like maybe blades at least in one hand, maybe a whip in the other. So maybe something like this, and then we go through blades or whatever.
How about a rapier?
Yep, we can go with a rapier. Let's clear off everything. So we can do, I like the double edge, Chris, too.
Ooh.
Because we can do double rapier. We got the Italian rapier, and we have, there's another rapier. I think it's an English rapier or something. Or Spanish rapier. So it's just the basic, but not without the fancy guard. I kind of want to do, where'd it go? Type thing, because I think that would look really cool. But yes, we can do rapiers. Double rapiers. Or do we want to do rapier and dagger? Where's that Mangoshan here?
Ooh. I definitely think a smaller sword, like a dagger or something to that effect, would be better.
Okay.
What was the double-edged one that you liked?
Oh, I was going to do, if I was going to do anything, I would do a double Chris on each hand. Just because it looks so freaking evil.
Yeah, do. All right, so do we want to stick with the double or? Okay.
Shadow Sword says double. We're making this lady look like a badass bitch. All right.
Also, anything can be a throwing weapon if you yeet it hard enough.
Yep. So I did want to show something off, though, is that you could do gestures. So you can hold up, and yes, you can give someone the middle finger with. You can flip someone off. We can change the arm movement, but let me give a quick pose where they've got their arms out, and we can always shape this. But yeah, you can give someone the middle finger if you want. But one of the things I do, so let's go back to handheld items. You can put miscellaneous items like a pseudo dragon on their wrist. You could have them carrying a briefcase, a coin pouch. So it doesn't have to be an item. Witch's broom. I want a lizard. A bomb.
That's adorable.
A rolling pin. A frying pan. A fish hook. Put an eagle on their wrist. Crowbar. Head. Different like birds that you could put on their wrists. Like the owl is kind of cool. A frog. Fan of cards. Remote detonator. Bioscanner. A Yeti head. Just various things that you can put in their hands. Coins. Flashlights. Guitar. A torch. Gourd. I mean, there is so many things, but one I think that's the coolest one of all of them is not only is this stuff right here, but the magic items. You can put magic in their hands. You can have just like a wand, or you can do lightning, fire, earth, cast it like you're casting a spell, wind blast, acid, vines, serpents, smoke, a different type of fire, lightning bolt, ice, necrotic bolts.
You could make Zeus.
Yeah. Flaming swords. An open book, if you were doing a wizard. Skulls. A heart. Flaming skulls. Crystal.
I love that they have an anatomically correct heart as an option. That's fantastic.
Voodoo doll. Crystal ball. But that was just kind of something that I saw. And I like, because I've actually got an NPC that I'll show off of, that is actually going to be one of the gods in our game. You'll see that coming up pretty soon. I'll be showing that off. All right. So, dual swords. We can change the poses of it pretty soon. Not worry about it. Side items. Side items could be bags, sheaths, horns, you name it. We can get, miscellaneous, like you can hang some skulls or a rag, or dynamite sticks, books. You can hang other weapons, like a whip. A little big in my opinion, but we can shrink that down, I think. Axes. We can do daggers.
I think it's really funny that the chat brought up Elsa because earlier, whenever I was thinking about the stream, I almost told you that we should name this "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
I do. You can do dual Chris's. That way she has double daggers, or maybe dual pack daggers. Or Karambis. I like those. They're very assassiny.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You could slit a throat with those.
All right. You want to change anything? Instead of daggers, add like books or swords or skulls or quivers. Cannot give it to her on her boots. We could try it on a pose, though. So we're going to go with pose. Pose, you've got generic poses that you can give people. Let me rotate this. Give it a little bit of thing. You got a rage one, which I think if you're going to do a rage one, you'll definitely have to like change the facial expression.
Oh, yeah.
But the one thing I want to show y'all after we try these poses is the heroic stuff.
Y'all are in for a treat. It's so good.
And depending on the pose, we may have to change the face a bit. Like this is actually kind of cool. You know, the heroic. The running one's kind of neat. Caster's all right. The duel is kind of neat depending on how you want to do it. Dodge, I think, is really good. Low strike. High kick. Kneel. Idle. Defend is actually kind of nice because it gives a good dynamic pose, but also gives you the good look to the daggers.
Ooh, yeah.
Pugilist is just kind of standing. Charging is actually not bad. Football throw really isn't. But something that we can do is the heroic poses. Now, you can have people in wheelchairs. You can have people in thrones. And you can choose the different thrones. Or you can do Slayer, and you can put whatever you want underneath their foot. Or you can do levitating, although you have to choose some really weird and interesting things.
Tentacles.
And there's two different type of levitating. There's levitating and soar, or two type of flying type stuff. I like the Doc Ock. I mean, that's not what we want to fit, but I think this is actually kind of cool as a base.
That is
item.
pretty sweet.
Yeah. You can do mounts. Mounts are special. You have to have, and they require you to purchase big bases. The arachnid's kind of neat because it's huge. Not kind of what we go to, but I did want to show that you can do mounts. The interesting part about this is that you can do the mounts. This is actually kind of neat.
Holy shit.
And when you do the mounts, whenever you download the file, if you just want to print the mount with your character not on top of it, you can. Because they give it to you with, give it to you together or separate. And separate, excuse me. I know there's another one, another programs like this, and they give you, you can either have it separate or together. This one gives you it for free. So I don't think mounts are great for us. That's what we're going through. But the one thing I do like is the heroic, like scout and assassin. Probably not going to fit what we're going to do, but this is a great pose. This is a pose that I'm using for one of my characters in Daggerheart for our rogue. And printed it off. I really want her to have the 2 daggers. So, and the assassin is a little bit different, just a different pose. And you can change the different types. Like this one's a column. Here's a dragon head. The pirate life tentacle. A dwarven mountain.
It doesn't fit for what we want, but damn it, I love that tentacle, man.
Yeah.
What?
Sci-fi. So if we go back to stance, I think defend was actually one of our really good ones. We have to put, we do have to put the weapon back in the hand since we had to get rid of it. So we just go back, get the blade, and get it again. So we have this, but I think there's a problem. Her face doesn't fit her pose. So I think we should give it a little bit more angry and a little less happy.
I was gonna say either angry or more smirky. Like, I got you.
Now we can give like her eyes. No, that's not what I want. Where's it? Eyebrows. Give it a more serious look like that. Then we can go back to the expression if we want. I think more of a I'm going to kill you look. What do we think?
Yes, no, maybe so.
Think we're good? Yeah, give her a little mean look. So we got the pose. Now the cool thing is we get to do the bases. Now we can do it round, square, hexagon. We can do base items, which we'll get to in a little bit. We can put a nameplate on it if we wanted to do a nameplate. Not that big of a deal. Round base is what we're going to go with, but we need to figure out what we want on the bottom of the base. So one thing I really like about this is, let's just say we're going to do a gravel. Plain basic ordinary. But base effects, these are required to have an account. You could do like Earthen Blast, Spell Tomes, not really what we are. Druidic, Void Shield, not really us. A Demon Fog, which I don't really care for. I wish there was more to it. Ice Shards, kind of neat, not really what we want. Flame Ring, cool, but not really what we want. And we can change the position of this Flame Ring when we're done. Gust of Wind, not really what we want. But when we go to the round, we can choose different things that stand
Ice
out.
for the Elsa mini.
Correct. We could do an Elsa mini.
Yep.
100%. We can have her standing on skulls. We can have a mosaic. We could have a ruined mausoleum. And the thing is when we get this, we can actually change and rotate this nameplate or this base so she's not standing in this. So before we get too into of what we want to choose, I'm going to just choose the wooden planks because it's just basic generic. But do we want to put base items on her base? Currently, we can only put one item on the base. They are looking into add, we can add more. We could just do a simple skull, do a little pseudo dragon. Really doesn't fit what we're going for. There's different thing. Yep. And if you really want to do Elsa, here's a snow orc. Little lizard. Cauldron. Mushroom patch. You can put a mimic. Some leaves. Closet, so gargoyle. A little groundhog. Gingerbread man. And Peaky Bulldog. A French
Look at
Bulldog.
that dapper little boy.
A fox. You can do some bunnies. I guess a bunny with dynamite on them. I thought that was pretty cool. Zombie arm. Little cats. And then there's a bunch of bunnies. There's a wizard bunny. There's a rogue bunny. There's a paladin bunny. There's a fighter bunny. Bear trap. They got this thing called blood pool. And they got a skull and candle. So we want to think, if we're going to put something down, do we want to put something down also with this?
So Nessie suggested either the sewer or runs for a base.
Okay, so let's go for the base again. So there's also like these little crystalline ones. So we got a fallen pillar. We got overgrown ruins. I'll just kind of put this up like this. Ancient ruins. Here's a basic sewers. I think ruins would actually be really better in all of this. There's a temple, but I think if you're going to go with what Nessie was saying, we've got overgrown ruins or ancient ruins. They're pretty much the same. One's got a little bit of vine on it, while the other one's got a little bit of vine, but more rock and rubble. You got a ruined courtyard.
I'd say the rock and rubble more so.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. Then, do we want to keep base items? Or do we want to get rid of it and just leave it natural? Personally, I think it looks good natural with nothing on it.
I can go either way.
Now, here's the cool thing about it. We take the base, and we can actually take our items, and we can change the pose and the distance and everything else. So, like, this is working on this Chris. We can make it stick out, bring it in, make it thicker, make it thinner. We can rotate it. We can move it the hip distance. So if it's not hitting correctly, we can change the scale of it a bit. So, we've got different things that we can do with it just to tweak it a little bit. Now, there's a thing called limitless mode, and they don't suggest it because you can actually break the model, but
Ooh.
It's there possible. I'm going to give you an example. We can always revert it. So I'm going to go and give you a head for limitless. I'm going to hide the bones, or actually just leave it like that. And you can do this stuff like this. So you can technically kind of break your model in limitless mode.
Yikes.
Yeah. But if you're making something weird and creepy, go for it. I think your pose is fine. I think this blade right here, this front blade, needs to be fixed. So that's probably this blade right here.
Rotate it just a bit.
Oh, wrong one. So let's put... Actually, chose the wrong one. Choose this one. Yeah, I think it needs to be rotated. Nope, not slide. Twist. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, and so when we go to the base, you can rotate the base around. So if you're going to print it strictly on its base and not print it in separate pieces, you'll want to, kind of get it where it is, so you're not cutting off feet or anything. But I always print the base and the model separate, so it doesn't bother me. There's only one model that I've done that is not on that. You can share and make cool little poses and backgrounds and things so people can see what you've made. And you can actually do it like this, so it gives you,
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you want. And you can actually turn the base on or off. You can put a platform. Just all up to you. That way, if you want to show, hey, this is the character I want to make, you can do different frames, circled, blah, blah, blah. So.
That's cool.
There is a coloring option, and I'm not going to show it yet because it is in beta, but you can color your model. It just quick gee whiz, it'll do a quick color of it and get the basics on it. Usually takes a little bit of time.
So, like, for instance, if you wanted to make her have red hair, you could make her hair red.
Yeah. But we'll have to do like an episode just on painting, because we could go forever, and I want to get this sent and printed. So we'll go back and get her going. So we're done. Now, we have an account, so our digital downloads are free. if we're going to get a physical size, we'd have to pay for it. But digital downloads, they're $5 per digital download. So we're going to add this to the cart. We can save it. So I'm going to make a quick save. And then we're going to check out and generate it.
Now, is her name Lynn or is it Linda?
It's Lynn.
Okay.
All right. Now all we got to do is wait for it to come in the email.
Which should take all of like 5 minutes tops, depending on how fast the servers go.
Depending on how fast the servers go. So let me go ahead and switch. Okay. Switch out of there. Let me put this over here so you can see that it has to come through my email. All right. My order's already been received and we're waiting for it. So you get, sometimes it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. That's the reason why I wanted to get this around about 8:30 to get it going. And depending on how many you do, depending on how complex your item is, will also depend on, how long it'll take. Like I did 6 models at one time, and I think it took like 10 to 15 minutes to get all of them. But
that's not terrible though.
No, all you're doing is they're creating the STL. You're creating it right here, right now, anyway. And you're just waiting for it. So we're just going to sit here and wait for a minute to see how long it takes. Hopefully it doesn't take long.
So besides assassinating people with our dear Linda, what are your plans for this weekend, Gonzo?
This Saturday, I cannot wait. We're going to actually play Daggerheart for the first time. And if you're watching, we are going to have a special Daggerheart episode on Sunday discussing some of the things about Daggerheart and the way we played. There were some things that came up when reading Daggerheart that we've all read that I really, really think is something we need to discuss on the show. Especially with Nestor here, because Nestor GMs also. And we're really looking forward to some of the things that were said about player expectations and DM and GM expectations. If you don't know, Daggerheart has a very different GMing system, which I think is actually a very good system. All right, my files are ready. So let me download them real quick and unzip them. They do come in a zip file.
So you said files. That is going to be your mini with the base, your mini without the base, and then just the base.
I will put these in the download section and show it to you.
Ooh.
It's in my new folder. Okay. So. All right. Let me switch over to this. Let's see if it switches over. All right, so I use Chitubox to 3D print my minis. I do have a Saturn IV Ultra. Love this machine. It is great. I've never had a problem with it. The only problem I've had with it is my fault of not doing things correctly. But this is the super, 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 super easy way to get things printed. So gonna go to my stream. No, not streams. It's over here. New folder. And you get 3 files. This where I think is where Eldritch Foundry really got me, is the other ones charge you to separate your file from the base. So here it is. Here's our 3. You get it 1 off the base and then 1 on the base. Me personally, I like to do them off the base. And so I take them and boink, just get rid of it. The size of the minis, the base is technically 1 inch wide. To me, I think that is too small for how we play and what we do. So I like to increase the size of them. And I like to do and go 125%. So it's just an extra 25% makes them good size miniatures, which makes them roughly what you would get on a standard tabletop miniature. So if I were, excuse me, if I'm going to go ahead and I'll undo this. I'm going to move this out of the way so it's not red. And
numbers wise, that would be about 30 millimeters.
yeah, so right now it's about 31 millimeters, 31.45. 25% makes it about 31 millimeters. And then height wise on this one puts her about 34 millimeters tall without the base. But like I said, I like to do about 25, but we're going to do something fun. Not only are we going to do this, I'm going to make a copy of all of these. And I am going to take these two models and I'm going to increase them to 175%. Because I want a large model. So let's undo, click this, check the size of it, and it's about a 44 millimeter base. Not bad, but it'll be nice and big. All right, so we're going to do an auto layout just to get it auto done. Now, for anybody that's never 3D printed, you definitely never want to print, 99% of the time, you don't want to print something flat because it could be issues with ripping and tearing or other things going on. So what I like to do is always prop everything. Let's go and do that. Hold on a second. Like this. Drop it down to 45 again. Grab everybody, and then do everything at a 45-degree angle. Dang it. I hate when I do that. Now that everything's at a 45-degree angle, things will print easier. You'll have less chance of them tearing or ripping or pulling apart whenever they're pulling from the FEP. Usually it doesn't happen. But do another auto layout so you can see them. There's going to be a little collision damage. That's the reason why they're red. But we're going to go ahead and go to supporting. This usually gets everybody kind of weird and freaked out on supporting things because they're like, oh, I have to put individual supports. Chit2 Box takes that out really easy. Auto support. Now I do have my auto supports tweaked a little bit, so I've got a little bit better easy ways to break things. So if you notice right here, you can see right here the connecting points are a little thin. And yeah, there's a lot of supports on these, but when I built this, the supports will break away very, very easy. Because
you've got the thinner tips connecting to them.
Correct. And I don't mind if there's a lot of stuff on here. I really don't care. But we're just going to have to look at it and go with it. All right, so we're going to go back. We're going to auto arrange again because you don't want them touching. You want them a little away from it. And we've got a slight problem here. These, we got some of them that are not sitting on the build plate correctly. You notice that this went under, so we just need to put it on the plate. Put it on the plate. Super easy.
Okay, cool.
So you want that little plate on there. And see, also you can tell this one is not sitting on the plate correctly either. And actually, we have a problem with this model. See how the foot is down in the ground? Right here?
Yes.
It did not go correctly. So we're going to take all this off. We're going to click this, see if it'll fix it by itself. Nope. So this model we're going to have to fix real quick. So first thing I'm going to do is going to do that. It's going to break the supports. It's fine and dandy. We're going to reset it. Flatten by face. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm just going to reopen it. No problem. We're going to increase the size by 25% again. Then we're going to rotate it. Cancel. Hit the wrong button. Cancel. I hate when I do that. Wow! Where'd it go? Sorry. All right. Do that. We'll re-support it. No problem. Let's see if it does it again. Nope. Now it's lifted up. See how it's got that 5mm lift now?
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
So how did that? What caused that? Is it just in the system? It just said no, I'm not going to do this, and now I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it didn't raise it up correctly. And that's the reason I always check everything. Like if you look here, we've got a problem here. This one did the same thing. This did not correct itself. So we're going to go and delete that. We're going to open it up again. And it could be because I'm playing with it. We're going to increase it to 175. Rotate it 45 degrees. Redo the supports. Auto support it. And now we're good. Go back. We're going to auto layout again. Everything seems to be good. We'll check on the bases. See, the bases didn't lift either. So something happened on our auto support. So we're going to just do this again. We're going to open those up. Get the base. We're not going to size it. We're going to size it ourselves. So we're going to increase it. Actually, we're going to make a copy of it first. We're going to increase this one by 125. And this one we're going to increase. Ooh, what was that?
What was what?
Something came through. We're going to increase this one by 175. All right. Then we're going to take both of these, rotate them at 45 degrees, and then re-support them. And just check it. Yeah, that's better. We want that little lift right there.
Yeah.
Right here. Auto layout. Center them again. Everything is clean now and everything's ready to go. And then we slice. Here's our models. We're going to network send it. So I'm going to send this over through the network. Through my AI PC. You can actually see me right here. I do have this set on my, I do have my printer on my network. So I don't have to put in a USB drive or anything. Send it.
Nice.
And then,
How thick is your normal base layer?
give me a second.
Okay.
I will show you in just a second. Let me look at this sent so I can start it printing. Oh, let me double check to make sure. Sorry, I had to add a little bit of print, a little bit of resin in there. Let it go, and we're good to go. This thing's going to take roughly about 3.5 hours to print. It will cost me less 83 cents
Wow.
to print this out.
83 cents in resin.
83 cents in resin to print this out.
Nice.
2 sizes. All right, you wanted to see my slicing settings? All right, so here's my slice settings. I know it's kind of hard to see, but layer height, I'm doing 0.030 because I want these to be very, very detailed. Bottom layer count is 10. My exposure time is 2.2, and my bottom exposure time is 50. Translation 4, transition type linear, resting time. I do have a little bit of G codes, and this is all almost base on everything. Resin, I'm just using normal resin. I put the price and the cost, $30. And actually my resin is about $25 a bottle. Because I do use an ABS and 8K resin. I do a mixture. I have a mixture of 8K resin and ABS resin. So my prints have got a little bit of rigidity, but a little bit of flexibility in it. Here's some of my more print settings. G code's the basic G code. I don't worry about any of these bottom light exposures. And just do the basics. But that is my models. And like
That
this,
is our model.
no, that's my model because it's going to be an NPC that's going to whoop your ass.
It's an our model. Tell them, Chad. Fine,
but,
it's a y'all's model. How about that?
that's about it on that. I'm not going to save this because I can always just fix this later. But that is our model. I will show you while we're waiting. As we got about 20 minutes left, I'm going to show you some of the models I have made. So I can save all my characters and I'll load them up. This is our Goblin Druid that is going to be in. These are models that are going to be in the Daggerheart campaign. I have shown them off on the webpage. And this is our Goblin Druid. This was one I made just for, this is one of my first ones I made. I was going to make a punching warrior. And his weapons were going to be magic gauntlets that he just punched people with. He's going to be a warrior that punched people.
So is that an Infernus?
It is an Infernus.
Nice.
Here is Erica's, which she is a Qatari wizard. And so she's got cat ears. Qatari are cat people.
She was looking at the difference between sorcerers and wizards, and I said, pick wizard because you're books.
Yeah. We have a fairy bard.
I love the hair on that one.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that's Jamie's model. Here is yours. Mizzy is playing a Clank Seraph, so she is a autonomous robot that worships a god.
I'm Thor.
Then we have a Drakenar, I think it's how it's pronounced. Ranger. And they're Dragonborn Rangers. Just, I'm sure they can't use that phrasing.
For legal reasons. It is
Yes.
not a dragonborn.
Yeah. And then this is our rogue. We have a fawn rogue. Our model, get it right. I don't think I have our bad guys in here, which is good because I don't want to show our bad guys off yet because Mizzy didn't see it. But I will show. So the world we're going to be playing in, the thing that we're going to be playing in is a whatchamacallit. Why is my... Oh, I know. Hold on a second. I need to fix the screen. Because we need to do window capture, not display capture.
I'm very happy for you, Nessie. I'm so happy that you saw the bad guys and I didn't. I'm very happy for you. Truly. Like, I am gushing with happiness over here, okay?
Did he say anything? Yeah, I did show him the bad guys recently, last stream. And that's our rogue.
Fine.
But I will show. So we're going to be playing in the Witherlands. So this,
that's what you said.
Yeah. So what this campaign setting is, you take the Legend of Zelda, Princess Mononoke, and Nassau Valley of the Wind, and that's what it is. Pretty much what happened is a group of people decided to kill this giant serpent god. When they did, it released this giant disease that if you get it, it'll kill you. But they found out there is a plant that grows in the wild, but it's like 1 in 10,000 plants. That it's the right type of plant. And so to get that to grow even more, they took the god that changes the seasons and took out his eye that causes things to decay. So it's continuous spring in this world all year long.
That's a little rude, taking someone's eyeball. Damn.
And so this world has a bunch of like large gods and minor gods in it, and this world also has a day and night cycle of 7 days of sun and 7 days of night. So there's a week of sun and a week of night, and of course week of night is considered pretty bad. This world was really, really cool. There's some other aspects, like all the creatures in the world are changed and manipulated by the Wither. And so, you've got creatures that have like giant horns and they're misproportionate and stuff. So I will show off one of our minor gods right now. This is one of our minor gods. Mizzy won't spoil this for everybody, but this is going to be one of our minor gods. Their gods live on the planet. Most gods live or are part of the planet.
Is that the god that I worship?
No, it is not.
Damn it. Okay.
But this is going to be one of the minor gods in the world that they will eventually meet.
Okay.
This one is printed out in 75 millimeter size already.
Nice. I keep secrets. I keep them safe.
This one they will meet quite quickly. Probably second session. But this is the one.
That's really cool. The rocks are a nice touch too.
Yeah.
So are the rocks all connected somehow?
Oh yeah, all the rocks are connected.
Okay.
So let me do this. Let me go to OBS. I have to move some stuff off my desk real quick. I'll show you the physical model. Give me 1 second. I am painting the NPCs and monsters that they're going to be fighting in the thing, so I can't show them to Mizzy yet. But let me go to the paint cam. Okay. Let me move out of the way. Here is the actual.
Okay. Very nice.
It's hard to see the runes because they're really tiny still, but they are there and they are carved out. But
I like that a lot. That's nice.
But they will meet one bad person. That's all I can give you.
But you just gotta go a little further up. That's all.
So for our game, I created. So this is the bard printed in 75 at 175%. But I go, oh, I'm gonna put it at 125%, just as it is, with no changes. But then I decided I would. It's gonna be hard to focus on so small. But then I was like, you know what? She only wanted to be 2 feet tall, so I did it even smaller.
Shenanigans.
So this is Amara Sunfire with our bard in 75% bigger.
Nice.
But then you also remember I printed the rogue Irish Shadowhorn at 75%. And there she is. 175%. What we're going to do with the 175% ones is we're going to teach them how to paint. A lot of them asked to learn how to paint their miniatures. And I was like, cool, we can do that. We got speed paint. We can continue. Just to give you an idea, this is the 175%, and then this is the 125%. So
the 125% is not a bad size.
No,
So
it's great for gaming. So let me get so the goblin at 125% is right here. All right. Now, if we want to take oh, here's something I 3D printed. This is the, one of the
Trixie Cephalofix dudes from War
Yeah.
Machine.
the Crichtons.
Yeah.
And that's about the right size. Another one here is just a normal base. The other Cephalix. So, I mean, 125% is a good, because if you look at it, this is a 30 millimeter base, War Machine 30 millimeter base, and it's just a little bit over the base size. So just a tad over the base. So at 125%, you're roughly about a 30 millimeter base. But these are 125%. I know it's kind of hard to see because I don't like to focus when you get, but
Still a good size.
125% to me is good tabletop miniature gaming size.
Mm-hmm.
The 100%, the base percentage is just too small for what we want to do and what we want to do.
Also, we're blind and can't see.
Yes, we are that too. So, let's go back to the paint night. That way they can see our faces. So,
Faces.
if you're interested in getting an account with this, I highly recommend like a monthly or a yearly or any other type of like that, because you get unlimited downloads. If we were go to, so if I'm going to tell you, let me go to the thing and the bundles. So you can get it for $15 a month, unlimited STLs. You get limitless mode, and you get a library to store your stuff. It's for personal use only. You can do it every 3 months, and then roughly it's $40. You get like $2 off a month. And it's the same thing. You get 13% off. If you do a 12-month, it's technically $10 off, but you get limitless mode, personal use, unlimited STLs, and you can get a lot of the full experience that comes with it, all the models. The cool thing is if you just want to do one model, sure, it's $5. But if you want to create a crap ton of models nonstop, buy 1 month, 2 months, buy a year's worth, and you get unlimited models for a year that you can 3D print. They do offer an education license, but you have to contact them. You can get a merchant license, but I'm not, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. That's not, what I suggest, what we're all going to do. So for the most part, I highly recommend like a 1 year. If you do it, it's like $120 for the year, and you can create as many models as you want, save as many models, bring them to you, download them, and just have them ready. Like a generic skeleton. You can make generic skeletons, generic zombies for your tabletop game. Sorry, my eyes itching like crazy. Not good. And if you're interested, we do have a link. And we do have a discount code for physical miniatures. And we will be giving away a gift certificate, so you can get a physical miniature, with a price discount from us. But that will be later.
What's stuff happening?
Yeah, we have stuffs happening. So, how are we doing on time? Yeah, less than about a full hour.
You timed it pretty good.
Yep.
It's almost as if you're a project manager and you know how this stuff works.
Pretty much. So, we'll when we start up, we'll release the code, and we will give away a gift certificate pretty soon, to get you a physical miniature. Other than that, and like I said, we'll also give you our affiliate link, which we appreciate if you were to use, because that helps us fund some of the things we want to do, helps us go to conventions more. Because we're actually going to one pretty soon, but we can't talk about it yet. So, what do we think? I know Nestor says it's cool.
I can say that it involves us getting on a plane and me for the first time.
Project managers don't know how anything works. We just wing it and make the chaos look organized. Sort of.
I mean, chaos manager is a thing.
Yes, definitely chaos management. But we will have some stuff coming up. Like I said, from them. We're going to be working with them for about a year to get things going, and try to get them promoted a bit more. They've got some special things coming. I did get to hear that they're about to release a new body type. And I requested frog, turtle, monkey, and mushy and mushroom. Mushy. Supposedly, the rumor is going around that we're going to get a turtle, but we don't know yet. They do have a Discord, so you can join the Discord and show off your stuff, so on and so forth. So it'd be kind of neat if you got in on that. But other than that, guys, we appreciate you listening and watching. This Sunday, Mizzy, Nestor, and I are going to be talking about some Daggerheart things that we read about that we thought were very important to role players and getting things done, and we want to highlight some of that stuff. Once a month, we're going to be doing build a character, so you're going to have me build NPCs for the Daggerheart campaign. So I'll give you, hey, we need to make this, and we'll build it, and then we'll print it, and then the Sunday after, we'll try to paint it up on air. So, don't know if we're gonna do it. Probably gonna do it in speed paint, so we can try to get like mostly painted up. So, I'm gonna take a picture of that model of Lynn, and we'll post it up saying it, and I'm gonna tag Lynn in it so she knows that this is her her tribute model, and such. Lynn the assassin. And go with that, and we'll actually we'll try to paint it up this Sunday. If this prints in enough time, I will take pictures of it and put it up tomorrow on the Facebook page. So
Excellent.
other than that, guys, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you take care of yourself out there. Join us Sunday so we can have some good fun. But for More Than Dice, I'm Gonzi.
You're Gonzi?
Angry Grizzly Minute. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right before we leave. But please take care of yourself.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Night.
Thanks for listening to More Than Dice, making the world a better, nerdier place, one dumb joke at a time. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more nerdy action or to connect with your hosts, check them out on Facebook.com/morethandice and Twitch.tv/more_than_dice. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay proud, and we'll see you soon on the More Than Dice podcast.